Where's Bam Wow?
Welcome
To
to
the
the
two channel.
Is the real?
Now,
Wow.
what
Sorry, it feels weird not being.
what are
Very
we here
crackly,
for?
guys. We
We
are
are
here
here-
for. Oh,
Oh,
you
you're
go.
good.
Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
okay.
No, sorry.
No,
No,
okay.
no,
It's
no,
okay.
no.
It's okay.
But after
It's
you.
okay.
After
It's-
you. No, after you.
We're
After you.
here.
No, I insist.
We're
After you.
here to do a repeat of
No, I
last.
insist, Ferg. After you.
God damn it, Cairns. Derailed already.
Okay.
I'll be so annoyed if this
Okay.
actually for me. I'm gonna be so annoyed.
So we're here to pick our 2025 Lions squad. A kind of combination of what we want versus what Andy Farrell probably pick,
Mm-hmm.
and our own spin on it. As you can see, repping the 2013 Richie Gray's Lions training top here. Got some, we know how the Australians love wine. Oh, a chili, yes.
Because it's gonna be a spicy tour.
Yeah,
I
nice.
thought you. I thought you were gonna say because it's gonna be chilly.
got
Oh, fix
got some.
Ooh.
We've got some wine because the Australians love wine. So for that, I had some French wine because I didn't have any Australian wine. So cheers to that.
Buffalo.
Ah, unfortunately, it's a rugby video, so I might have to do that.
Ah.
Anyway, right.
It's weird.
So we're gonna go
Everything
in this video. We're gonna go through the forward squad, right? That's the plan, and we've all voted on it. We've all. Sorry, your guys are quiet for me. We've all voted on it. We've all put our votes in, and they've been tallied. And Cairns and Juan have no idea what the squad is outside of their votes.
Yes.
I can't wait for Ferg to put himself in every position.
I am the Lions.
Gar.
Yeah,
Right, let's go.
everyone found that so funny.
Magic of editing. Right, ready? Get started.
Okay, I'm ready to get started. What we go starting with?
So
Forwards.
the forwards.
No, I
Starting
mean
with
Oh,
first.
Oh well.
Are we doing?
Well, you'll see the positional breakdown here. So
Okay.
let's get going. So starting with the forwards, we have in the loose head position, Andrew Porter,
God, the
Pierre
anticipation was killing me.
and Ellis Genge. That's our three loose heads.
Oh.
Moving on to hooker, we have Dan Sheehan, Theo Dan, and Ronan Keller. To tight head prop, we have Tag Furlong, Xander Fagerson, and Finlay Beelum. Now on to the second rows. For the second rows, we have Mario Atoje,
Dang,
Mario.
and Tag Byrne, followed by Ollie Chesham, James Ryan, and Daffyd Jenkins. Now in the back row, we've got Josh van der Fleer, Caelan Doris, Jack Dempsey, Henry Pollock, Rory Darge, and Ben Earl.
And Cairns. Fuck.
No.
So that is our forward pack for the Lions tour. A couple of is it going to let me do it? Of course it's not. Hold on.
I don't know.
A couple of stats for you guys regarding this stuff. Stats. We love stats here.
Someone calling.
So the hookers that missed out, that only got one vote each, were Dave Cherry and Johnny Matthews.
Oh, Jesus.
At tight head, much to Cairns' dismay and attempts to derail the conversation, Will Stewart was the only tight head that missed out. Cairns, when voting on it, asked me, Ferg, can you send me the list of the tight heads? Because I can't remember which side is which, and I'll vote based on that. The first one that he sent me, Cian Healy. Not only is Cian Healy retired, but he's also a loose head. I said, Cairns, I need another answer. That one doesn't work. Could you please send me another tight head? Thanks. I have sent you the list. It's here. Please pick from the list. What does he do? He goes, Finn Smith. I was like, Cairns, that's a fly half. He was like, no. I'm, I mean,
I meant Finn Baxter.
Finn Baxter. I was like, Cairns, he is also a loose head. I've given you the list of the international tight head props from the Six Nations. Can you please pick one from there? And then he sent me the word Balham.
See, in my defense, all
I
right,
don't know
in
how
my
you
defense, Berg was messaging me middle of the day when he sat at home sipping on his red wine, chilling out, and I'm in the midst. I'm in the yeah, and I was still in work. All right, some of us were trying to get home.
You were already
No,
home.
that's a lie. That is a complete lie. I was still in work. That's why I was struggling to reply to you.
I like to
I was
add
getting all
that
your messages. I was like,
Ferg's also drinking white wine right now, not red wine.
Yes.
yeah, because he drank all his red wine the other night.
Oh my
I
god.
rest my case, Your Honour.
Other
How do you not know
other people that missed out completely with only one vote. So these are all the guys. This is
This
actually
guy,
incidentally forwards
I
and
missed it.
backs. Guys who missed out completely with one vote. What we'll do is we'll get to the guys who were close calls, so got more than one vote, but still missed out after the backs video. So in the
Okay.
second row, Scott Cummings had one vote, Grant Gilchrist had one vote, and controversially, Chandler Cunningham South had one vote as a second row.
He's not a second row, is he?
Well,
Yeah, you can.
he's been playing second row for Harlequins, but he's really a six. But that versatility
Yeah, but
goes
that's
into the
where
decision making.
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
The only other
But so can
two,
Scott.
No, he can't. Come on, grow up.
the only other
Grow
two
up.
to miss out were Jack Willis, Jamie Ritchie, and Jack Morgan, all with one vote each.
Yeah, Jack Morgan was the only one I was like, got to fill those Welsh
Yeah,
slots.
see with Jack Morgan, yeah, he's a good player, but he's a good player in a terrible team, so that's why he looks better. It's the only reason he looks good. He's in a terrible team.
Why else do you think we play in places that we have terrible teams? They look good.
So, front row wise,
I mean, look at Richie McCaw. That's how he did it.
incredible player and an incredible team. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally the best winning
Better players just
percentage
make
of
you
any
look
player ever.
That's
captaining a side.
it's exactly why I wanted Jack Morgan to come in, because imagine you put him in a good team, then he'd be fantastic.
He just so average. Let's be
So,
honest.
do we have any thoughts regarding loosehead, tight head, and hooker front row to start with?
No thoughts, just vibes.
I can't argue with Eden. I think hooker wise, I think it's a tough shout because apart from the three that are mentioned there, no hooker's had a decent time right now. You know, Johnny Matthews, I think, is struggling with form right now. He's nowhere near what he was last year. I think Dave Cherry just looked decent this year, but I don't rate him that much at all.
Yeah.
So I can't. And again, prop wise, I think I can't argue with that as well. I think those props are the ones that have had the best year, Six Nations wise and club wise as well. I think they're also the props that have looked decent for
Both
the 4 years.
And
Both club and country for the 4 years between the last
Lions.
tour.
Lions
tour, yeah.
So for me and hooker, I thought Jamie George might get a look in because he's still as good as he has been. He's still playing for England and he's still solid. He I think he didn't get a vote there, but so spoilers for later. But he was in contention. Loose head wise, I think that's pretty much spot on. Nobody else stuck their hand up. Tight head, I thought Will Stewart was a little bit hard done by. Because he's absolutely solid. Do you know what I mean? As we like to say on this channel with this video specifically.
We're not starting that on the Lions videos again, are we? Just say
he's just solid, mate.
He's just
solid.
Absolutely solid.
I think Will Stewart is a good shout, but I also think with Finlay Bealham, he's been in the Irish setup for a long time now, where he knows the system that probably they're going to play for the Lions, being Andy Farrell. So
Irish.
I think
Irish plus
I think he's the
squad.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think
Surprised Jody Barrett's not been talked about yet.
I think to be fair as well, Tag Furlong is probably the one out of the three of them that would lose his place to Will Stewart out of the three, because Finlay Bealen's been starting for Ireland, but you can't drop quality of Tag Furlong,
Yeah, I mean Tag Furlong's
that man
good.
is a magician.
Yeah,
I think Tag Furlong is good.
He's great. He's great.
He's great.
He's great. He's great.
I think Xander's better. Call me a Scotland tinted glasses man, but I think Xander's
You've got Scotland tinted glasses, man.
I don't. Yeah, it's good. People are going to say that about me this whole time, but I think
Tag Furlong. I think the thing is, Tag Furlong, he's got the size, he's got the energy, but his hands are just phenomenal.
Yeah, the soft skills.
Yeah. I'll give you that. He's very good in.
Kieran, you got anything to mention about Loosehead or Hooker?
Who knows the difference? So just put me in them and I'll do it.
So moving on to the second row, I think Scott Cummins is unfortunate with injury to miss out on our selection here. James Ryan's pretty lucky because he's in there because he's fit.
I think it's because of I think he's in there because of just like team quality.
Yeah.
He's
been playing solidly with us, like with a great team.
Yeah.
And it's not. You go ahead.
Oh, so I was going to say injuries to Scott Cummings and George Martin as well have kind of opened the door for him, because George Martin's confirmed out. Scott is technically back for selection, but he's not.
He didn't have a chance in the Six Nations to prove himself.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I also think Mario Itoje was unlucky to miss out to Mario.
I was thinking when I set my selection to Ferg, I did write Mario Itoje.
When I was collating them, ChatGPT, when this is an obvious spelling mistake, I'm correcting it.
God damn it, ChatGPT, you don't get banter.
Yeah. So, any other comments in the second rows, boys?
Joe McCarthy, I think, is also quite lucky because he is just a bit of a bruiser. He's just I think he's more of a midweek. I don't think he's a full test player.
I don't know. I think this Six Nations he didn't stand out as much, but last Six Nations he played phenomenally.
He's also he's the mean guy you want on your team. He's the tough guy you want on your team. What I would say is that I think Ollie Chesham absolutely deserves to go. He's been quality for England
he has been solid
this year, but the last 2 years he's been brilliant.
I think last Six Nations he wasn't great, but this Six Nations he really came into his own.
Yeah.
And proved himself. I almost feel, because was it his second Six Nations? Six Nations last year?
No, his first one last year.
Second
this year.
Yeah, first one. I think it was almost nerves of his first Six Nations that he just couldn't get into stride, and then he's gotten used to his setup.
Yeah. So, Daffyd Jenkins probably the last point in the second rows, because Tadhg Beirne deserves to be there. We know that. There's no real discussion there. But Daffyd Jenkins, I think he's kind of another one.
He's been solid.
That's looked great, but unlike Jack Morgan, he's benefited from the fact that there's a lot of second row injuries right now. But he is good. But he looks good in a bad team, like you said, Juan. Which is
this is the thing.
Yeah.
He's also in a terrible Exeter team as well. Like we saw what happened to Exeter. I don't know when it's finished. The Gloucester game where he didn't look great in that game either.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't really have him there, but I wouldn't feel comfortable saying Grant Gilchrist should go over him, because Grant Gilchrist, he's such an up and down player, because he's mainly
slowly up and down, by the way.
Totally up and down.
That's a line-out joke for you. Sorry, Greg.
But
You watch this.
he's been good. He's good this Six Nations, but I think I don't know. I don't know about him. He's coming to the end of his career as well, and I still don't know about him. If you get what I mean by that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So, finally,
Is it just me? Sorry, you go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say, like, is it just me, or is he picking the team or your squad for this? Didn't it feel as if it was quite a weak squad compared to other years, but just because of the amount of injuries and such, it is like, and like teams being a bit one-sided, like Ireland being phenomenal, Scotland have been up and down, England have still been like coming back up, and Wales have just been down.
Yeah.
But I mean, it feels like quite a weak time for selection. I mean, don't get me wrong, these players are still class, but it just feels like a weak time just due to injuries and such. I feel like there's been more injuries than usual.
I think it's very it's weird us being on the side of not being the wooden spooners from a Scottish perspective. And I think that's why it feels so different to us. Because we're looking at Wales, where we'd usually be like, oh, there should be 10 Welshmen in that squad. And
that's true.
Like you're
we're looking
an
at
argument for one or two, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
So right, finally onto back row, so we can keep this to time. I'm gonna skip over Van der Fleer, Caelan Doris. Shoe-ins, no discussion needed. They are the pinnacle of their position at the moment in that quality Ireland team.
Yeah. I mean, class. Except Caelan Doris did get flattened by Alex Samuel in that Leinster Glasgow game.
So what we'll do with the back row is let's quickly talk. We got say a minute about the two Scotland boys, then we'll talk about the two English boys, starting with Ben Earl and then the ringer that we have in our squad here. Okay, so starting with the Scotland boys, I think Demo has enough credit in the bank for the Autumn Nations and played enough of the Six Nations. He picked up another unfortunate injury. He looks like one of the quality eights straight after Caelan Doris, to be honest, in my opinion. I don't think anyone else stand out in the Six Nations at 8 at the minute. Because even Ben Earl, I would consider more of a flanker than a number 8.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure. Scratch my back for 2 seconds.
That's okay.
Did I put Jack Willis in my vote?
Jack Willis did get a vote. So,
yeah, that must be mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Demo he's big, he's strong, and he's agile. Like but he's not just like one or the other. He can do both, which is where I like that kind of 8. So I think like he's done very well. He's really made a breakthrough with playing for Scotland and that. He's been so solid. Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I think he got injured before, but he had a couple bad injuries, bad timings, but he's just come back on the horse, got back on the horse, and he's back firing again.
Yeah,
so I agree.
Anything on Rory Darge, boys?
Darge is just his stealing and.
I love Rory Darge as a player, and I've always said I love Rory Darge as a player. But I think I don't know what's happening with Rory Darge. He had a great game against Italy, right? But he's not really done anything outstanding. He's just played his game, which is good. It's a fantastic game that he plays. But he's not really done. You've not really heard. Oh, there's Rory Darge again. You know. Whereas he had that one game against Italy in the Six Nations where he done insane. But I was a flip of a coin between. I put them both in my team, but having Rory Darge in the squad and having Jamie Ritchie in the squad. Because I think right now with Jamie Ritchie, I think it's make or break, and he's trying to make himself. I guess that this is his last ditch attempt at a year to just prove himself as.
So my refute to that would be that I think Darge has been suffering from the way Scotland defend at ruck time. We don't target the ball, and Jamie Ritchie often targets the ball, and he got away with it more in the Six Nations, but in the same vein often gives away penalties when he's hyper after the ball. So I think that's maybe a team thing, and I think he could really thrive in the Lions squad.
See, I think Darge the reason you don't hear, oh, there's Tarkin, there's this, I think he does what Johnny Gray was very good at.
The work.
Like,
It just
his
doesn't.
background work, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Doing the stuff that's not seen, like getting the tackles in, getting up, making sure he's at the ruck, just keeps going, and he's just a workhorse, just keeps going. You don't see him scoring all these tries, but he's just fucking, he's there in the background.
He's
So
still putting about 4 tackles a game in.
So now I'm gonna just kind of skim over Ben Earl in the interest of time here, okay? And just say,
Okay.
There, physicality, speed, absolute, like enthusiasm.
Absolute
the
unit.
squad,
Absolute unit.
great. I think he
celebrates the small stuff. I love that.
he's probably kind of in there as well as that utility back row, right? Who could play eight or flank. But onto our kind of big pick here out of the whole forward pack, to be honest. Henry Pollock. I didn't actually vote for him, but he has, in my opinion, Champions Cup level, been just a superstar.
Incredible.
Like, he's doing things that Ardi Sevilla does. He's doing things that Zinzan Brook would do back in the day. He looks like the real deal. And we are Scottish saying this, by the way. So this is not a bias thing. This pains us a little bit, if anything, because he has got Scottish blood too. So he's a traitor. We still want him in.
See, yeah, but waste 3 years of his life, get him not picked. It's fine. We'll get him back. No, I think Henry Pollock he's come in. He's an absolute flyer. His work rate's phenomenal. Yeah, he can. People say he makes a lot of mistakes, but he goes for it. You've got to go for it, and the more you do, like every shot you don't take, you miss.
Yeah.
So he needs to, like, the fact he goes for it and tries things. I love that. But I also think he's gotten a bit lucky just because back row, I'd say, has been one of the most populated positions.
Mm-hmm.
So with like Matt Ferguson's injury, I think Jamie Ritchie not being on, I would say not being on top form, like he's kind of on a bit of a comeback, but he's not been on top form. That kind of stuff. Like, just with the amount of players in there, like I think he's done very well, and also the fact with like Jack Willis not playing in the England squad might
work against
hurt his chances. Yeah. So he's just given him. He's got lucky in that sense, but don't get me wrong, he still, I think, deserves a spot because his work rate and the way he's been playing has been phenomenal.
I think it just kind of depends where Andy Farrell goes with this. Does he go with a young up and coming player that could prove himself for this tour, could make himself for this tour, or does he go with a guy that's not playing in England setup, that's playing abroad in Jack Willis?
He has been phenomenal, though.
It has been outstanding. It just depends what flip of the coin Andy Farrell wants to go with it. How much money did England pay him? But we're not going to say that out loud, are we?
Oh, well, good points well made, boys. So yeah, that's been our forward squad. Thank you for watching, Cairns. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people who might or may not watch? Again, sorry if Grant Gilchrist ever sees this, and maybe Jamie Ritchie too. There was a couple of you may have caught a couple of strays there. So
that's fine. He's off to France anyway.
RFU for claiming that they're bribing, but
they are. Okay. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.